me, Claritica here on Claritica Says, where Claritica says and all that. So I feel so we're back with another video. Today's going to be a cooking video. I'm going to make salmon. I have already made my rice, guys, and today my rice came out like perfect. I mean, look at the greens. Look at the greens. Oh my gosh, my rice came out perfect. And you know what? I have been practicing making rice because lately, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with my rice for the past 2 months. I was saying my rice have not been coming out the way that rice is supposed to be. Like, that's a lie. It was coming out good, like really good. But you see how like you can see every single grain? It wasn't that perfect. It will be more like a jasmine texture, more of a softer texture, more clumpy. It will still be separated in some places, but not that perfect. I can make fried rice with that rice. Like, I am so proud of myself. So that's step one. We're then going to go ahead and season up this salmon. So today I'm cooking salmon rice, and I'm making salmon rice and asparagus. And I don't have my actual pan that I wanted to use, so I'm going to use this pan, which is fine. You just need a pan to, use. And I'm going to start with taking a little bit of cooking oil. Today we're using the Wesson canola oil. Normally I would use olive oil, but I ran out of olive oil and I forgot to pick some up today at the store because I didn't even realize that I ran out, to be honest. And so I'm going to pour some of this onto my pan. Let me set you guys up. Okay, so I have my pan here, but you guys can see. And a little glass of wine. Just a good tip. Fish, white meats, you want to do white wine with heavy meats, red wine. But at the end of the day, if you don't have red or white wine for either one of them, if you have red wine with fish, that's okay. White wine with, beef, whatever, that's okay. Wine is wine. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this canola oil here. Just a little bit. See, not that much. And I'm going to spread it on my pan. My hands are clean. Well, I just touched my glass. My glass is clean. I'm just spreading this on the pan so that, one, it will cook on the bottom, kind of like fry up a little bit, like lightly. And two, I don't want it to stick to this, which it is a non-stick pan. But just in case, better be safe than sorry. Boom. I am going to open this. I have my scissors. These are cooking scissors. And so I'm going to open my package. You can eat salmon by itself. Like, you don't even have to cook it. Who's not cooking it? I won't not be cooking it. I don't eat raw fish. I don't eat sushi. A girl like me does not eat sushi. But some of you guys out here could just put some salt, pepper, nature seasoning, Lawry's, whatever, garlic on top, and some little bit of salt and some pepper, and you'll be fine. Squeeze a lemon on top of it and some pepper, and just eat it like this. Like, I don't eat raw fish, but you can. And you really can. Like this type of fish, you can. So, what I'm going to do is rinse this off. I'm going to rinse this off. So now that my fish is washed, I'm going to now put it on here and show you guys what we're going to season it with. So here's 1, 2, 3.
It only put 4 in the pack.
Yep, only 4 in this pack, but that's enough. Today, we are going to use this Hawaiian glaze. It's a marinade on our salmon. We're also going to season it with lemon pepper and black pepper and a little bit of garlic powder. So this is what we're gonna season with: pepper, lemon pepper, garlic. So what you do is you put the glaze on last. That's how I like to do it. I cook my salmon for like 5 minutes or so, and I'm baking in the oven. And then I'm going to then glaze my fish for the remainder of 2-3 minutes, because salmon don't really take that long at all to make. Let me back up a little bit for you guys. It doesn't really take that long to make. So, you know, you just need to make sure it's seasoned up, and then you can put your marinade on it. Now, what I will tell you is that you really don't need to have all of this. You put a little salt, a little pepper on the salmon, you're fine. And you don't have to season both sides. But I like my food very seasoned. I would say very seasoned, not over seasoned, but I like my food to have flavor. And as you will see, I'm gently just coating it. I probably should do this on the plate just because the pan that I'm using is going to have the leftover seasoning on it. But at the same time, because there is water in the salmon, it's okay. It'll create a nice little juice that will soak up in the fish. Like I said, we're seasoning both sides lightly. I'm not over seasoning it. I'm just making sure it's seasoned. That's it. Just making sure it's seasoned. All right. Boom. Onion powder done. I know I got powder lemon pepper, which is lemon and pepper, but I'm going to still put pepper on it because I want that pepper taste to really get into my food. Lemon pepper, I'm not putting much of at all, just enough. Just enough. I'll probably give a piece of this to my cat. Cats love fish, for those of you who don't know. All right. And a little bit of lemon pepper. I'm not gonna lie, the fish smells so good. So good. A light amount. Just for taste. You could have just used this only. By the way, you didn't have to do the pepper and the garlic. You can just use lemon pepper and the Hawaiian glaze and you will be fine. I'm gonna flip it over. Lightly season it. And I'm gonna show you how my food looks. All right, boom. This is going to be so delicious. I get excited for food, guys. You don't even understand. And then, you know, I give it a little rub. Because food is love, happiness. You put your love into food, it will always come out good. I'm telling you, rub it your food in. You know, make sure it soaks in there. I'm not gonna put this in automatically. I'm not. I'm gonna just sit in and soak for a little while. I'll probably not that long, like maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20 at the most, just to give it some time to soak in a little bit, because salmon is like a thin meat. It's a lean meat. So it doesn't need that much seasoning and it doesn't need that much time to soak. That's why you do not use use a lot of salt, because if you put a lot of salt in salmon, you are going to taste it. Don't use seasonings with salt in it unless you are salt fans. If you're going to use Lawry seasoning to make your salmon, use it very lightly because it will shine through with the taste, because Lawry is a seasoning salt and the basis of the seasoning salt is salt. Be very mindful when you use salt, but you can do a lot amount of salt and a lot amount of pepper and you will be fine. Light amounts of salt. Use more pepper than salt, just saying. But let me show you guys how it is right now. Let me show you guys how it looks. So this is how the seasoned up fish looks. Very seasoned, very nice. You can even use this meat to make tuna if you wanted to. And this is how my salmon is looking. Yum, 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 yum. Even like this, at this state, you can eat it and it'll be so good. So it is now time to turn on our oven. Take do 425. Reheat. I want to mention that your salmon should be skin down. Wait, I can't show you guys. Skin. This is the skin of my salmon. It should be down. It's flesh, the skin's on the other side. Just so you guys know, make sure you place your salmon skin down when you are baking your fish. Or using, regardless of using a pan or not, just make sure it's skin down. You can use aluminum foil to also do this. Just make sure it's skin down. I'm going to add one more thing. Now preheating on 425. You can put it on 400 to 450 to preheat, which basically is your oven nice and hot. You then basically let the salmon cook for like 4 to 6 minutes. Check on it depending on the thickness of your salmon. You have the range to flip your salmon if you choose to. If not, it's okay. It will still cook on the bottom. And me putting that canola oil on the bottom of the pan to coat it will also give that skin a nice crisp taste. Well, somewhat because it's still salmon. But the last thing I'm going to do, and I wanted to make sure I showed you guys, is literally slice a thin amount of butter. A thin amount of butter. Like half a piece on each piece of my salmon. Like right in the middle of the salmon. And what the butter is going to do is again caramelize the meat, give the meat flavor, and whatever juice that the pan has, it will also get into that juice that I will have when I'm done. So, you know, there won't be a lot of water or leftover juice or like, you know, the gravy you can use in the pan. Don't worry about it. I'm not putting water in the pan. Whatever's going to be in the pan is just going to be from what the fish, you know, drains out and what the butter makes from me putting the butter here, which is going to be delicious. And I will drizzle that on top when I'm putting on my glaze, because remember, we're adding a glaze. Okay guys, so this is about how much asparagus that we're going to cook today. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 pieces of asparagus. The way that I prep my asparagus is to cut off the ends. I basically cut off the stem part of the asparagus so that, you know, you don't have that hard part. And I cut it right where it disconnects. See? And you just stretch it. Same thing. Anything that's a white color tint, you just go ahead and cut that. Just go ahead and cut that off. I mean, you can choose to not cut them, but I will tell you that that part will be a lot harder than the rest of the asparagus. Now, asparagus does not have to be cooked very long, which I learned the first time I made asparagus. For the first time I made asparagus ever, I made it like soup, and it was not good. Like, basically, I didn't make it like soup. That's a little far stretch. I made it like green beans, okay? I made it kind of like green beans, so I overcooked it, you know, because green beans, you can make it seasoned in like a little watery or whatever, have a little sauce. I did that, and yeah, I was not supposed to do that, and so I had too much water in the asparagus, so it came out very slimy. Asparagus will get slimy if you overcook it as well, so you gotta cook it just the right amount of time, which is basically like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Watch it up to 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you'll decide on how much longer to cook the asparagus, because asparagus is tricky depending on the temperature that you're cooking it at, and everybody's stove is different. So mind you, you've been warned. Just be mindful when you're cooking asparagus. Do not overcook it. Do not put too much water in it. And I'm going to show you today how to cook asparagus perfectly. Let's go. Okay, so I put a little bit of garlic in here, minced garlic inside the pot, the pan.
That's for what?
That's to go ahead and start to get the pan to simmer with taste. Get the pan flavored. Yes.
More butter.
I'm gonna give it more butter. I have a sous chef over there, so I'm doing about
another piece. Cause your pan's hearing.
You guys hear that? I'm doing about 4 slices.
That's it. That's too much.
No, it's not. Because it's going to cook down and it's going to... Let me cook. I'm doing about 4 slices of butter. Let me show you guys how it looks. Okay, so the pan is on 3. And I put garlic butter and garlic inside of here. So let it cook. You put a light amount of water. Like a tablespoon or 2 of water. Just enough to help it steam. That's all you want it to do is steam. And I'm going to place these in. Okay, so now I've put this inside. I'm going to put some black pepper.
Hella black pepper. That's some lemon pepper. She know how to cook, y'all.
Okay, you gonna hold it?
She know how to cook so good.
I mean, you could have been helping.
Y'all don't even know. She's the chef.
And then lemon pepper.
She's literally the chef. Look.
So the middle is basically lemon, garlic, butter, and pepper.
Look at
And
that salmon waiting. Say hi, chef.
And I'm gonna put a little bit of this. I like complete Salmon. It's your preference, you don't need to, but I'm gonna put a lot amount of this. And a little bit more water. So that it doesn't burn. This is how the salmon looks. Yum. Excuse me. So literally 4.5 minutes, and look at it. Finished, done, delicious. This is how it's supposed to be. Still tight. You see? Firm. I'm just gonna leave that on there to sit until the fish is done. This is how my fish looks. It's cooking up. 3 more minutes. The salmon, we're using the Lori's Hawaiian marinade. It's with tropical fruit juices and it's a grill it, bake it, and a slow cook it type of marinade here. So it works great no matter how you use it. There you go. You see the ingredients. So this is what we're using today to go ahead and coat my fish. I'm putting a little bit of it in a bowl, like literally a slight amount in a bowl, just to go ahead and glaze it. It says 15-minute marinade. So we don't need just to stay here 15 minutes. So if you're baking chicken, ribs, stuff like that, then you'll do that. But for the salmon, just about 2 to 3 minutes tops. This is how the salmon